All right, sir. So
There we
today
go,
we're
man.
gonna go with the mid fade. What are we doing on top?
I'm gonna leave the top.
Give the top,
Yeah,
just fade.
mid fade and lineup.
Got you, man. So how's life, bro?
Man, just turned 40, brother. Yesterday, I can't even believe it, man. I still feel like I'm 20.
Is it one of those things where your mind says you're 20 and your body's like, nah, son,
Yeah,
you're
definitely,
40 now?
definitely that, man. It's just crazy how time flies, bro.
Bald fade, correct?
Huh?
Bald fade.
Yeah, Boston.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's uh, what's a piece of advice you have now that you're 40?
yeah. Make a lot of memories for sure, man. Spend as much time with the family, especially like a married man. It's very important, man. Every moment counts, man, because the type of work I do, it's you gotta take life. You can't take life for granted, But I started young. I had a baby when I was 17, so my son's big now. My son's 22, but it was difficult growing up as a young kid, trying to raise a kid, and have my parents not the support that I needed and things like that. But at the end of the day, God's good, man. I've been taking care of it as much as I can. Got custody of my kids, and
Okay,
uh,
dude.
it's it's been it's been a roller coaster, bro. But I could say that God's always been there, and I guess without Him, for me, it's been a blessing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
This is I always like to ask people who are older than me. I just turned 31 myself,
Right.
and I think it's a lost art, man, of talking to older people because they've gone through some things, man. They live life, and
Hmm.
most of them have a gem or two,
Yeah.
And for me personally, I always find it comforting asking people who had a like a rougher upbringing, I would say,
Great.
because if you're anything like me, man, I learned by my mistakes, and there are a lot.
Yeah, man. My parents split when I was 12.
Mhm.
So we ended up staying with my dad. All of us were four. And growing up, man, I had to, there's this saying in Spanish where they say, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. That's like, tell me who you hang around with and I tell you who you are, that type
Yeah.
of thing. So, like, I grew up in South Central LA, and 80% of my friends were all gangsters, man.
Mm.
So, just hanging around with that crowd, it kind of seemed like I was part of them.
Yeah.
But just being with them, I got in trouble a lot of times, man, and ended up in jail a few times. And the me having my son at 17 was really what changed my life, man.
Kind of force you to grow up a little
Yeah,
bit.
like no, like right away, man.
Not even a little bit,
Yeah,
like
like
deep
quick.
end, just straight in there.
Yeah, like I was blessed to end up graduating high school and then just try to you know work two jobs, sometimes two part-time jobs, just to try to be the best dad you could be.
Do
But
what
at
you
the
got to
same
do,
time,
right?
I was still a kid, man. I still needed it from my parents. And so it's been rough, man. But all I can say is, like you say, you live and learn, man. And that's the only thing. Once you do a mistake, try not to do it again.
There's one thing my old coach from high school would always say, and it always stuck with me because it's true. So life goes on, man.
Yeah,
You can sit there and dwell on it, and for a lot of people, unfortunately, they can't get past their past. They stay
yeah,
stuck in that. But like you said, it's like you got a kid, man. You got to do what you got to do to provide support.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's been rough, man. But if uh, if you don't learn from your mistakes, man, and then there's people that, like you said, they live in the past, man. They stay stuck there, and you can't move from that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, you know, everybody's situation is different. Like some people definitely do have it rougher, but it's kind of hard to say just get it together. But
yeah,
at some point, you would try to aspire to, right? It's like every day's a new day, and you have a new chance every time you take a breath, right? So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
easier said than done, for sure.
Yeah, everyone's different, man. But at the end of the day, just gotta keep moving forward every day, brother. Like you say, you can't go back and dwell on stuff because
And even if you can, man,
time doesn't time doesn't stop for nobody, you know.
ooh, it just keeps coming at you, boy.
Yeah,
So you mentioned that your job. What do you do for work?
I work for the county morgue here in LA County,
Oof.
so I get to, um, pick up all the deceased, those that died, stabbings, gunshots. They died at the county morgue. I mean, at the county hospital, and we pick them up, and eventually they go to the coroner's office for autopsies. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been 18 years. I was a funeral director for 16 years.
Wow.
So I worked at a mortuary for 16 years, and then now I work. I got hired finally at the county, and I've been there for 3 years now. So
Congrats, man.
yeah, man, it's
How did you get into this field of work?
yeah.
Not
So
every day. I mean, meet a coroner. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, my story is long. Like I really like when they said like when I got in trouble young and ended up going to jail.
Uh-huh.
Um, I wasn't a gangbanger or nothing like that, so I was always a good kid. So in jail, I had the option to go to a fire camp. I don't know I don't know if you still have that program.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the mic filter. I got you. You have to edit that.
You know it is, bro. This is a live podcast.
Yeah.
So you had the option to go to the fire academy. You were saying.
The fire camp in
Fire
jail.
camp.
Yeah. So they select like certain people that are like doing good. They haven't had any problems in jail. Or, they obey whatever.
Mhm.
And so I was fortunate to go to fire camp and learn as much as I can. And as I was fighting this trial case, it got interested for me at 17. That like, man, I wanted to be a fireman. I liked it, right?
Mhm.
So I ended up beating this case. I got out with no misdemeanors, no felonies, nothing. I got out clean with everything, and that's where I decided to become a fireman. So I ended up graduating from high school. Came out noticing that my kid's mom was pregnant with my first son, and like shoot. So I went to Rio Hondo, man, college, and I registered to the fire academy and ended up graduating there. And I was riding along with the fire department here in Montebello for a while. So my kid's mother's side of the family,
Mhm.
they're like this hardcore Mexican family, like hey, he needs to work, he's not working, he's just going to school type of thing. And here she
They don't
is,
count that as work.
yeah, like here she is like pregnant, and my son was born, and I'm here like going to school and then graduating from the academy, and then to become a fireman, you have to do like so many hours as a volunteer fireman,
Okay.
like you have to be like you're called an auxiliary after the academy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing that, and I was going on calls with them, riding along with them on the trucks and everything, and but I was getting this problem back at home with me not working and providing for my son.
Mm.
So I ended up started working for AMR, it's an ambulance company.
Okay.
I was an EMT, so I was working with them, and I don't know if it's still the same, man, but like in 2000 back then, we're talking about 22 years ago. No, 22 years ago in 2000.
Mhm.
Uh, they start you off in an ambulance, but you only work part time.
Right.
Like you don't get 4 hours like right away. So
And it's probably like the worst ones too, right?
yeah, like so you're like part time and you have to work your way up to like get seniority, and then you get full time
all the
hours.
scraps until you get some years.
Yeah.
In.
So I was working there, man. I wasn't making that much money either way. So it was like, man, I'm killing myself. Going to the fire department and then going to work at night with the ambulance, and that wasn't happening. So long story short, how I got into the mortuary business, I met a kid with a suit and a gurney picking up a body at Beverly Hospital in the ER,
Mm.
and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm picking up a body from the morgue here from inside the hospital. And he was young, and I asked him, dude, how much you get paid? And he told me he was getting paid like at that time like $15 an hour. I mean $15 per body that he picked up.
Word.
Yeah, so he was working 12-hour shifts, and and I was like, how much body can you pick up in 12 hours?
Yeah,
So
you tried.
people don't know, right? I was tripping out, and look, and this was a Friday, man.
Uh-huh.
And then he gave me the business card, and I talked to the owner, and the owner was like, "Oh shoot, like this kid just graduated from college. I'm a good kid, you know." And he hired me on the spot, man. He said, "Come on Monday, ride along with this guy." I rode along with him, bro, and shit you not, we picked up about 12 bodies, bro, in like 8 hours, all over the county, bro. Just and these were natural deaths. These were not like
Not even in
no,
the.
not nothing like where I do now. These were just like older people died of convalescence,
Mm,
died at a residence, heart attack, and natural deaths, you know.
you're right.
And this was all, and I was like tripping out, bro. So at that time, $15 times eight, and then I started making money, um, and I ended up doing that, man. I worked for that transport service for 3 years,
Mm.
and then I started meeting people. I started meeting people that worked at mortuaries, and I started asking how to get in there. I was so like me. I'm the type of dude. I'm so ambitious, man. I want to do something. I do it, man.
So that first time that you pulled the body or went to go pick up a body, what was that like for you?
Well, this is the thing. With the ambulance, I already seen the bodies.
Mm.
That was my first time I saw a dead body. I was like, oh shoot. And these were like tragedies, man, in the freeway, like on 60 freeway, car flipped over, family dies in the car, and I'm there with the fire department, so I got to see that
Oh,
firsthand.
man.
So once I transitioned into the mortuary business, it was I don't want to say it was like whatever, but
You already used to
I
it.
was used to it. I
Yeah.
had like a stomach for it and stuff like that.
But that first time, like, there had to be a thought that crossed your mind, like, it's not normal to see, bodies, especially that amount, right? I mean, you have like family members who might die of old age, but
Yeah, yeah.
that first, I don't want to say like mangled body, but like, what was your first reaction to?
Well, the first time when I first saw the first dead body,
Mm.
I was just tripping out, man. The first time you see it, um, obviously, in the field that I was expecting to see this stuff. So it was more like I couldn't show that I was scared
Mm.
or I wanted to throw up or things like that because my captain was there. So I was still in that auxiliary program that I was trying to get hired by Montebello.
And they're ready.
Oh
That's the
yeah, they're
thing,
like
right?
whatever, man.
Just
Laughing,
another
they were
dead
laughing
body,
because
right?
like some will go like pick up a decomp and it's been there for like 3 months. They find it in the garage and it's just like fuming everywhere and they're laughing at you because you're trying to throw up and stuff like that. But
He's just amusing you,
yeah,
but it's wild.
but but yeah, man, that's how I started. I did 3 years in this transport service, and then I end up getting hired at Guerra Gutierrez Mortuaries
Oh, okay.
here in Montebello, and I worked there, for 16 years. I was able to raise my kids. Obviously, things didn't work out with my baby's mom, but I ended up getting custody of my kids and remarried. I met my wife there at the mortuary, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, man. But you know what? I found Christ in my life, man. Real
Awesome.
young.
Awesome.
I'm a musician, man. I sing. I have a couple albums out. Yeah, actually, the lady next door to you, she tripped out because she knows my music, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What type of music do you do?
I do worship and praise, man,
Oh,
in
sick.
Spanish. Yeah,
Oh, in
I write.
Spanish.
Yeah, I write my own music. I have like a couple of English tracks, but it's mainly Spanish, and that's been my rock, man. My relationship with Christ been holding me together because there was time I just wanted to break apart, man, and it was so hard to
So let me
raise.
ask you this:
Yeah.
in the type of work that you do, and with the faith that you have, what like, what's something that sticks out to you every time you go and you pick up and you do your job? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it varies in different ways because when I was at the mortuary, I had to deal with families. The
Mm.
families were there when their loved one died,
Right.
and I get to experience how there was like a lot of families that were not even close to die,
Mm.
or a lot of families that they were just separated, and there was a lot of drama in there, and a lot of people just took it for granted. They were not prepared when someone passed. And now, where I work now, I don't get to deal with families because these are not natural deaths, you know.
Oh,
And they don't have families when I'm there. So when we get there, we pick up the bodies and we don't get to deal with no one. So I was like, it's part of my faith. I just don't take life for granted, man. I just think like if my wife goes to the store and it's already been an hour and she's not back and I haven't heard from her, I started worrying, man. Like,
ooh.
because like I said, I see all these stories of how people die, man, and it's just been yeah. I don't take nothing for granted, man.
Nobody's promised tomorrow, man. I
Yeah,
have,
nothing.
I work. I have another job too in the mornings, and
Mhm.
from one day to the next, there was a coworker. He passed away in his sleep, and then kind of like the common phrase that everybody was saying was like, "Man, I just talked to him yesterday."
Yeah, yeah.
Life's so fragile. The Bible says that you're like a vapor. You're like a dew in the
Hmm.
morning. You're here.
Yeah,
You're here in the morning, and you're gone in the morning. It's
yeah,
like that fast.
yeah, man. It's always that important. I mean, like I tell people, like any religion you want to be in is cool, but try to have some type of relationship with Christ, man. Like one on one,
Yeah.
because you never know, man.
What do you mean by any religion?
Well, all right. For example, I'm Catholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's always debates when like Christians or Catholics and Protestant and all that stuff. I said like no 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 religion is gonna save you. The Bible says that nobody goes to the Father if it's not through Jesus Christ.
Nobody comes to the Father except through me.
Yeah, so we need to have a relationship with Jesus.
Jesus first.
Yeah, so that relationship with Jesus was really gonna save you. You know,
Mm.
so I think that's an important message. Yeah, I'm Catholic. I have all the beliefs and everything like that, but if I don't have a relationship with Jesus,
It's all for naught,
yeah, it's
man.
not for nothing. So any type of religion that you're in, I don't think religion is the main thing that's gonna save you.
Unfortunately, man, it's my opinion that I believe that just like anything in life, people pick sides for things, and they kind of forget the main thing, like you're saying. God
Yeah,
says, you know, He died for everybody, but only few are gonna call on His name. You know what I mean?
yep.
And people like to think that just because they go to church, that makes them
Mm-hmm.
they're them and God are good, but that's not the case, man. If it wasn't for Jesus dying on the cross, my belief that
Yep.
past, present, future sins, he said He'll take them all away.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Now, when God looks at me, He doesn't see the imperfection that I know I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm human, bro. He sees
Yep.
perfection in Christ, His Son.
Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful right there,
Mm. So you mentioned you turned 40, bro. So you got any plans?
man. Yeah, man. I was telling you, I'm heading to Miami tomorrow morning.
What are you guys gonna do over there? Hit the beaches?
Man, I just want to hit the beach, lay down, pop a cold one, put some music, man, and just chill. And just put this phone away, get off social media for a while.
That phone, man. It might as well have a
Yeah,
leash on me,
yeah,
dude.
man. Just want to get away from all that for a minute.
It's good, man, to find some solitude, wherever you can. For me, like I don't know if you have any hobbies, but one of the things I like to go is work out, for an hour,
Oh,
hour
dope.
15. That's my place where everything doesn't matter,
Right.
just me. Or I recently got into golfing.
Oh, cool. My brother plays golf, man.
Yeah, it's fun, dude.
Mm.
I'm not the type of guy who can relax by just sitting down. Like I have to be
Yeah,
doing something. So, both of those things it works well for me.
yeah, yeah.
What about you, man? What do you like to do for fun?
Man, I do a lot, bro. Well, I play guitar, I sing, but I also do photography and video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that was my side hustle for a while. And man, I like sports a lot, man. Basketball, football. I'm a big Kobe guy, man. You got Kobe in my arm right here,
Don't lie. Did you shed it? Oh, that's nice.
bro.
Turn that to the camera.
Yeah, there's Kobe right here, bro.
You're dedicated, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I had I grew up a Lakers fan. Back when they were going for the three-peat and all that. I was
Yeah,
around like 9 or 10 years old. And one thing that always stuck out to me of that guy is like just his drive to be the best.
yeah,
There's so certain outliers of people where whatever it is, man, it's not just the physical abilities, but it's also their mental fortitude and that drive to become number one, stay number one, right?
yeah.
Kobe was that guy doing 6 a.m. or was it? They called it the 666 workout, where they
Oh
would
yeah,
work out for 6 hours,
yeah. Come back
shoot
and rest, go
around.
back. Yeah,
That's dedication, man.
yeah, man. So when Kobe entered the league, man. See, I was a Laker fan. I went to the parade in 1988 with my dad, man. So
Mm.
think about that. I was 6 years old when they won that championship in the 80s.
That was with Worthy
Yeah,
and
Magic and Cooper and all those dudes. Yeah,
you've
but
been a fan for a minute.
yeah, yeah. I even got the other text right here.
There you go.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. So that's my hobbies, man. I like football for sure. Raiders, diehard Raider fan, and Lakers, and that's all. Besides that, I like to man just watch movies with my wife and chill.
nice. I like to hang out with the fam, dude. Just watch
Yeah,
movies. Seems like time's so precious these days.
for
Like
real, man.
I have two young kids, so I'm trying to enjoy
Oh yeah, how old are they?
every minute of it. They're gonna be 2 and 4 this year.
Oh man, enjoy it, brother.
I'm trying, man, but you know
You
how
know,
it
it
goes.
got at one point like Christmas is my favorite holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and when my kids were little, like 4 or 5, and they're little, man, I used to get so excited because I used to go buy them gifts and with like a couple like 100 you buy a whole bunch of gifts when they're little. When they get big, man, it's a wrap, bro.
They
You
start
can't,
wanting the iPads and
yeah,
all that.
anything like it's just so expensive. So you can only like afford to buy them a gift each, because it's too expensive now. But
Listen, dog, you're getting a pair of socks, and you'd be happy
yeah,
now.
but it's like Christmas was awesome when they're little, so enjoy it, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying
And
to
in a
cherish it,
blink of
man.
an eye, man, they're gonna be teenagers, and you're gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Was there a time? Do you have a boy and
Yeah. So I got two boys, and um, and I raised my wife's kids. They're my kids. They were have a daughter
nice?
and two other boys. They're my stepkids, but
Let me ask you
um,
this though:
mhm.
Did your son did and when your son hit that, I'm gonna step up to my dad phase. How was that for you to think about that, or did you have that experience?
like,
As the
like, like
fact where it's like coming into age, you're like a teenager as a boy, and you start thinking, you can run your own life and all that.
oh no,
Did you
man,
ever? You never had
I
one of
never
those?
had that with my son.
Oh, that's
Thank
good.
God. Actually, I raised good kids, man. They never raised their voice at me. They they always been have good manners. They're awesome kids, man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah, and my kids are small, so I'm enjoying doing all the little things with them.
yeah,
It's hard though. Especially
yeah,
nowadays where I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but
yeah,
I'm not that old, and it's hard for me.
yeah. But
Sometimes I just want to lay there and not do anything. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think that the just you know get the respect that you need from them and always show authority over them. You're the main one when they get older, so they won't have to be like, okay, I'm done, or talk back to you or
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, man. So how was it raising a blended family? Did you guys all mesh together, or did it take a little bit of time? Cause
Um, it wasn't easy.
mm,
Um, my wife's older than me. She's 7 years older than me.
same.
Yeah, so she had her kids already, and she has an older son. He's like 28, or
Oh wow.
So when I got to start when I started dating her, I met him first, and he was old. He was a junior high kid. They like me. They all like me. I guess just the simple fact of like your kids or my kids, but
Mm.
we have to treat it like we're all our kids together. They have to be equal. That
No
was yeah,
favoritism.
that was kind of the tough part. Because sometimes I see like my kids wanted to just spend time with me only,
Mm.
things like that.
Did you find it? What was your experience trying to find that balance between splitting time with how you said five kids?
Yeah, five
Five
of them.
five kids, man. I could barely do it with two.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, for me, was that their father was around, but not around, and
Mm.
then I never knew when he was gonna come around. So I didn't never want to step over they're his kids.
Right.
So even when I moved in with my wife, I told the dude like, "Hey man, look, I'm not here to take over your job. You're still the dad,
Right.
but I'll be the best friend for them. Whatever they need, I'll be here." But so I always gave him that, gave him that respect. But after the end of the day, he wasn't showing up. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna take over, man. I started teaching him how to ride a bike, how to catch a ball, how to do things like that, all of them together,
Awesome.
and then yeah, like I said, I never showed favoritism. If I'm gonna buy one thing, I buy for everyone. And yeah,
I don't know if
11,
you've seen that video on Instagram.
13 years now.
That's awesome. That video on Instagram where this lady's trying to blast out her baby's dad for bringing his kids McDonald's, and I guess she had like I don't know 4 or 5 kids, different baby dads, and
Uh-huh.
she was blasting him on Instagram saying, "How could you bring food for one kid and not all?" And he's all, "Dude, I got to take care of all those kids. They're not even
Damn.
mine." It's wild, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had that other experience, where you guys could come together and you know your kids are my kids and my kids are your kids.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, I had to, man. Like, if I really love my wife, man, that's gonna have to make it work, because and the relationship will end quick if you're not, you know, showing the same love to everyone.
House divided can't stand, bro.
Huh?
A house divided can't stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna recline you back so you
For
want
sure.
to.
Oh, I think that's damn.
Here we go. Right there.
For sure.
All right, ready?
Yep.
So, what was your era growing up? 3 4 years, the '80s. What do you
I was
remember?
born in '82, but
'82.
I started like partying like late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh, okay, so you got like the house
Yeah.
party era.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Remember the deep house breaking and all that shit?
You thought you were Boogaloo Shrimp? Or
Yeah, I was pop locking, man.
what? That's awesome. Does it feel like a million years ago? Or I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, it does, man. It does. It's just telling you, I can't believe I'm 40. And 40's, I guess it's like the new 30s now, but I don't know, man.
Wow. I know for myself, like I said, I just turned 31, and
Mhm.
man, I would kill to have like 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
being 20, 26, 27. And
yeah,
I notice things now that I didn't feel a couple years ago, and it should be now. I mean, it's life, whatever, but like hurting yourself sleeping,
hmm
pulling things that never pulled before. It's like
yeah.
what's going on, man?
It's gonna get worse, bro.
That's what I hear, and
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to growing and becoming a better person every day.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, life goes by quick, man.
yes, sir. All right, sir. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Sure, man. Thank you.